WCBS-FM.
Here at CBS-FM, this lady has sold well over 100 million records. Now you've got your 26th album on the horizon. You can get this very soon, September 24th. It's called, of course, Closer to the Truth. It's available on iTunes, and if you order it now, pre-order it, you're going to get yourself 3 bonus cuts. I'm so excited to bring on the female artist of rock and roll, the iconic lady. Cher is with us here.
Thank you.
You performed the new song from the album, Woman's World. You performed it live on The Voice.
Yes.
How was that, live, television?
It was awful, really. It was so scary, I can't tell you, because I tried to explain this to my mother, because she said, "Oh, sweetheart, it's fabulous. Why are you worried?" And I went, "Well, because, Mom, in 3 minutes, I'm either going to be the greatest reinvention of myself, or I'm going to be Cher, get to a home." And it's going to be like, this is your career in a nutshell in 3 minutes.
Well, think about it. You haven't performed live in several years,
Yes.
okay? Long time. And you've done this residency at Caesars. You've been to Vegas. You've been out there. You're performing in front of thousands of people. But what is it about that gray box with that little red light on top, that camera that's going out to everybody, that sends jitters down everybody's spine?
You just said it. I mean, you know, you're there and it's going out to everybody, and you know, and especially when it's live, you know, you've always cracks or something happens, and you know, if you're playing, if you're on stage and you're, you know, or you're doing a tour or whatever, it's just a number. It's one in a number of shows, and it just is what happened, and you make fun of it or you don't, or you know. But when it's live, and it has to be kind of, that's the definitive performance
there's no going
of it,
back.
and there's no going back.
Yeah. The new album, produced by Mark Taylor, who hit a home run with you with Believe, which was absolutely awesome.
Actually, there's more. There are more cuts by different people, but Mark and I think he and I did more tunes together than anybody else.
Yeah, but when you did Believe, I mean, I listened to that. The production values on it were incredible. I watched you perform it on Letterman with 2 microphones for all the processing and everything. It snaps, it's clean, it's bright. It reminds me of what Bruce Sweden and Quincy Jones did with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
It's that same bright sound.
And we were almost ready to throw it away. Actually, everyone was about ready to throw Believe away until it was completely finished, because it was a beautiful, I mean, I'm not saying beautiful, it was just a beautiful constructed idea in the chorus, and everything else was just a mess.
Yeah. Well, how would you explain Close to the Truth? Describe it. Is it eclectic? Is it diverse? What would you describe it as? Because you can't, right now I can only hear 1 song on iTunes, and the new ones are not available until the album comes out.
I've got them on my iPod.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'll let you hear some.
Sure, thank you.
It is eclectic. There's a lot of dance, but it's like Believe. You've got your kind of dance section, and then I've got, Pink wrote this unbelievable ballad for me.
You have a country song, kind of a country flavor.
Yep, I do. And Pink wrote this other song that's got a banjo in it. It's very funky, and then I did Sirens, which is a song about 9/11, and it's a very strange kind of U2 sounding thing, and then Take It Like a Man and Dress to Kill. They're all, you know, it's very eclectic.
Wow. A tour possible with this at all? I mean,
you know, I'm rummaging through. I mean, I don't know, but I guess if you know, it would be next year, early next year.
How's George doing? How is Georgianne, your sister, Chaz? How's everybody?
Everybody's great. Chaz, I just saw. Chaz is doing this. There's these young kids, and they're called 30-minute musical, and they take trashy movies, like they've got Independence Day now, and do a musical like in an hour, and it was great. Chaz played Bill Pullman, the president, and it was great. And my mom is about to do RuPaul, the Drag Race.
Really?
Yes. We cannot keep my mom down now.
Well, let's talk about your mom for a little bit. You did a wonderful thing. Most of us give our moms flowers, candy, or at the very least a phone call on Mom's Day, and you did a whole thing for Mom, Love Cher, a documentary. What inspired that? Where did this come from? Because
when my mom turned 86, you know, she'd wanted to be, I mean, she was a singer when she was young, but she'd wanted to, you know, that was her dream, to be a singer. So when she was 50, she did this album with the Elvis Presley band, but it didn't come out, and she just sat on it, and it was in the garage, and then she was looking for something, and she, you know, she found it, and then my sister said, you know, stupid, which my sister calls me that, but she said, you know, Mom's going to be 86, and maybe you could take the songs and, you know, and refurbish it, and she would be thrilled to death. And then I thought, all right. And then I got into it, and then I thought, you know, it'd be fun to have her tape her singing the songs.
Right.
So I put together my own little small version of that, and I interviewed her, and she was telling me about when she grew up and used to sing on the top of bars for pennies, and you know, all the depression stories that my mother has, and so it became this like little 16-minute gift to her. And then I was editing it in my house, and my friend came in and she said, this is just too good for a birthday present. And so these people came in, and Bravo, no, it wasn't Bravo, it was Lifetime, and they came in and said, we'd like to make a real special out of it.
Well, growing up, you know, it was tough for you. Your mom, you know, remarried several times. You know, looking at the family, it's not solid at the time. There's a lot of people listening to this interview right now on CBS-FM, on my morning show, that are driving into work. There are parents that are taking their kids maybe to a public pool. They're giving their kids advice. What did your mom give you in the form of advice, you and Georgianne growing up?
Okay, my mom said if it doesn't matter in 5 years, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And never steal anything that you can't go to jail for a long time. And what else? And she said, oh, this is something that she said that she said, never litter. And she said, never believe the word no.
Very quick conversations.
Yeah, but you know, that's my mom in and out.
I love one of the ones she did have, don't pay attention to age and it won't pay attention to you.
Yes, I'm not buying into that one yet.
Well, I always say, you're only getting older when the candles cost more than the cake. So let's go back in time for a second now, okay? Let's think about this downloadable, disposable society we live in today with iTunes and you know, Instagram and tweeting and all the other things we're doing in the world. Radio to me still is the medium, the ultimate medium, getting the message out, doing it every day. Back then, radio was what it was. There wasn't all these things.
No, radio was king.
So everybody remembers their first time, and don't look at me like what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the first time you, as a young kid, were listening to the radio and you heard yourself on the radio singing a song, whether it was a solo song or were you with Sonny.
I was with Sonny.
Where were you, and what did you think?
We were at our manager's house because none of us had money. Yeah. We were at our manager's house. I know we were at my mom's house. Our managers were living with my mom and Sonny and I because we had no money. All of us had no money. And we were listening to ourselves, I think on KFWB, and you had to call in so that you could, you know, vote on the best record. And we were just calling in. My mom had 2 lines and we were all calling in continuously.
Which song was it, do you remember?
I think it was Baby Don't Go.
Baby Don't Go. And what did you think when I mean, you've sung background on so many great songs. You lived at Gold Star Studios, working with the Righteous Brothers and Darling
That was
Love.
You Lost That Love and Feeling was the last song, and Be My Baby was the first song.
But what did you think when you heard yourself singing harmony on a little AM radio?
Well, I was thrilled. It was out of body. You know, it's one of those things. You have no idea, and everybody's screaming, and we all said, we're going to go to the Cadillac dealership with a bag full of money and buy a new Cadillac.
You know, you said once, I believe, that luck has a lot to do with it. But I'm thinking about somebody who has had a #1 song on the Billboard pop charts for the past 6 decades. That's a long way from Bonnie Jo Mason singing Ringo, I Love You. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, it sure is.
Come on, that's fantastic.
I know.
You know,
it's all luck, I think. I think some talent has a lot to do with it, but it's luck.
Yeah. When did you realize that you could act? And I don't mean that facetiously, saying it that way. I mean, your mom said that you practiced writing your autograph.
I had it down when I was 11.
11, okay.
Yeah. I did it. I wrote the first autograph I wrote to my sister on it was a pumpkin that it was one of those things that you have when you're graduating grade school and you have all your friends write on it, you know. And so I was sitting around, and I was kind of in the doghouse, I think. I was in the doghouse the whole time I was a teenager. But I was just always grounded. And so I wrote this to my sister, and I signed my new perfect signature, which is completely different than my signature today. But that was my autograph. That's what I signed. You
were brilliant, I thought, as Rusty in Mask. I thought it was absolutely a fantastic, powerful performance, and I know you're very involved with the organization.
Creative facial, yeah, from then on.
A lot of the
Still
kids,
now.
Yeah. But, you know, of course, we look at Moonstruck, Oscar-winning actress. What was the connection with Nick Cage? Because you were really going to bat for Nick in that movie.
I actually quit.
Really?
I quit the movie because I said if Nicky's not, because they didn't want him. They thought he was too crazy and too volatile and, you know, spotty, you know, up and down. But I had seen him in Peggy Sue Got Married, and I just thought there is no one else for this part but him. So they said, we're not doing it, and so I quit. And they said, okay, well, we're doing it. But he was the right man.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was perfect. Picking you up and carrying you into the bedroom, you know. But,
Chrissy, give me the big knife.
Yeah. Silkwood, though, take us to the moment. I mean, what happened at the beginning of that movie, at the premiere, I would have left in the theater and sat in my car in the parking lot sucking my thumb.
No, it was at the trailer.
Yeah, but did you go to the movie too when it happened? And then at the end of the movie, it was
no,
a totally different thing?
I didn't go because I mean.
Tell me the story though,
Okay,
because
well,
it's really a
all right,
transformation.
So Mike called and said, the trailer's out. It's in Westwood. So my sister and Billy and I, we were so excited. So we ran. And it actually was playing with one of Tom's movies, I think. And we ran there, and you know, we're waiting, and you know, Silkwood and Meryl in that car before she gets killed, and all these things. And I don't really look like myself, so nobody kind of during the trailer, during the clips, nobody was saying anything. So then it said Meryl Streep, and everyone's like, yeah. And then Kurt Russell, yeah. And then Cher, and the entire theater, so organic, just started laughing hysterically. And I bet my cheek, it was so awful. It was like one of the worst experiences because it was so organic that it was painful. And then I called Mike and I said, Dad, this happened. He said, you know, they'll be laughing now, but they won't be laughing later.
But you said, I remember reading where they laughed at the beginning. By the end of the movie, when your credit came up, everyone applauded. And that's just a sign of success right there. It really, really is.
It was the premiere, I remember now.
Hardest obstacle you've had to overcome or still fighting, if I may be so personal to ask?
I have a real up and down moods. And so I have to watch that I don't take anything too serious. I don't get too excited or too down about things. I have to try to stay, you know, in the center, you know, which is, you know, and I'm just really emotional. I'm over emotional, I think. So that's something you have to kind of stay on top of.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I could talk to you for hours because I have so many things I wanted to ask you, certainly about Chaz and, you know, what's going on with him today, and I'm wishing him all the success.
I've never seen Chaz better.
Yeah. You know, as a mom, you got to be so proud because I read an article where he said he would have done this 10 years earlier had he been able to, but he felt because of a celebrity couple, he couldn't do that. As a mother, how does that make you feel?
Well, you know, that came in stages, and we talked about it several times. And then Chaz would say it, and we'd talk about it, and then some years would pass. And so when Chaz finally said, I'm doing this, I wasn't sure if it was a, no, it's not, you know,
phase or something, or what?
A phase. And then Chaz was really doing it, you know, but he's so happy, you know, he's just so happy.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel good, and I was trying to explain it to somebody who said, you know, how can you be okay with it, and blah, 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 and I said, you know, it's like, I like being a girl so much, you know, I just think it's so fabulous. And if I woke up tomorrow and I was a guy, I would be heartbroken, I couldn't bear it. And that's the way I tried to explain it to him.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I could talk to you for hours, but Closer to the Truth, the new album, it'll be out September 24th. You are, without a doubt, Oscar winner, Emmy winner, Golden Globe winner, and can be only one name, Cher. Thank you so much for being here on CBS-FM, my dear. You are the best. Thank you.